Hello there and welcome back to some more Silly Car Showdown. Today we are taking a look at the Acura RSX, a particularly interesting car. This car was requested by a Twitch Fox and it's one that I see as very curious. It is of course our first front wheel drive car to take on the track, and I'm very happy that it is the RSX because I really do quite like the RSX a lot. Honestly, I wish to God they sold this car in the UK. For those of you who don't know, the RSX is essentially North America's version of the Integra. They just decided to slap an Acura badge on there for premium or to sell it for more, I'm not sure. But yeah, anyways, it's an absolutely fantastic looking car if you ask me. I love Hondas, of course I own one, which helps. This car of course has the K20 engine, which is highly revvable, highly tunable, and very interesting indeed. And it's going to be interesting to see what sort of power we can make out of this, because if we go over to the conversions, there's only the turbo rally, and we've had the turbo rally in a few things already, so we are going to stick with the stock engine. Makes a decent amount of power stock actually. So it'll be interesting to see what we can get out of this overall. We will go for the turbocharger. Usually I go for the supercharger to be more interesting, but I think with this engine, getting mad power out of it's probably not going to happen. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of options for this sort of stuff. Most of them are hideous. I quite like that though. Sod it, I'll go for that. I know it breaks the paint slightly, but sure. Ooh, you can get like a nice little lip spoiler, which apparently adds weight. Some of these are ridiculous. I mean, that's... We may as well just remove the wing, to be honest with you, considering we're not going to be making any downforce with this anyway. Quite like that rear bumper as well. I'm assuming it's like from a Integra or something. Actually, all these, apart from that one, all these rear bumpers are quite nice, but I'm going to go for the Acura one. On the side skirts, probably going to go for full Acura kit in general. That one fits the paint more, but we get the drag efficiency bonus from that, so we'll go with that. And all these hoods are absolutely bloody hideous, so we won't have those. Okay, excellent. Right, moving on to tyres, and of course we are, as always, going to go for the racing tyres. 225s. I would have preferred bigger tyres, to be honest with you. Especially considering, again, front-wheel drive. The front wheels have got to do an awful lot in this car, but never mind. Anyways, we will build some PI with this stuff. Again, power-wise, I'm not expecting a massive amount from this. If we get 500, I'd say that would be pretty good. We will, of course, go for the race suspension. Considering last time we had the Unimog, it didn't seem to make a bloody difference with that sort of weird kink that exists in our course. Sort of on one of those straightaways, there's a weird kink that sends the cars all out of balance for some reason. I'm not quite sure why it has that, but it does, so, you know. Anyways, RPM limit looks very strong on this. Of course, it is going to increase when we stick on the cams. I'm going to go almost to 10k RPM there, Jesus. Yeah, actually, the PI is climbing quite nicely on this, and the power additions are pretty cool. Yeah, we're actually making a lot of... torque's probably going to be more of an issue, but yeah, we'll see. Anyways, we'll whack all of that in. So what do we end up with? 535 horsepower. Okay, more than I was expecting. A lonely 337 foot-pound torque. Of course, this is a Honda. 2,481 pounds of weight. A top speed of 205 miles an hour, apparently. That is pretty darn quick for an Acura. Or a Honda, in fact. I don't even think the new NSX can do 205 miles an hour. It's probably just under. But anyways, yeah, that is the car built up. I am pleasantly surprised with how much I'm able to do with the car in terms of power. However, the real question is whether this thing can push that power through the front wheels. I guess there's only one way to find out, and that's when we head to our track. Let's do it. Okay, so we are here at our Silly Car Showdown track, which is of course set in a blizzard and in the tight city centre of Edinburgh. We're going to see how the RSX gets along. It's going to get 5 laps, although technically it's more like 4, to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Ford GT40 EcoBoost. This car unlikely to beat that. Best case scenario for this car, I think the target for this car should be the Imp, which set a time of 153.350. The two cars are relatively similar in PI. I think the Imp was actually 868, but this of course is slightly less of a mental thing. Also, I just realised I've still got the whole skills thing left on, so unfortunately you're going to have to deal with that for this episode. I'll make sure to get rid of it for the next episode. As we go for a bit of a sideways movement through there. Not quite expecting sideways action from a front wheel drive car, but there you go. It feels very skittish. It feels extremely light. I mean, to be fair, it is pretty darn light. It's 2,405 pounds, which, yeah, it is very light, but, okay, interesting. Also, I should quickly mention a shout out, of course, as always, to the ever-reliable Azza for setting up this race. Basically, the way I have to run these is I have to run them as a PvP event without the other player. So, yeah, it's a bit of a ball ache. Unfortunately, again, as I've explained countless times before at this point, there is no rivals mode in this game, so unfortunately we have to make do with what we have to make do with. Ooh, things go a little bit out of control through there as we head onto the switchblade. Yeah, not quite the cleanest of laps, but you know, we've always got to get used to the car at first, see how it drives and all that. It is, like I said, it's very skittish. It kind of drives more four-wheel drive than it does front-wheel drive, and not in the best sort of way. It's not a bad handling car though. It's dealing with the power a lot better than I was expecting it to. I can feel in the way the controller's rumbling, there is definitely some one-tyre fire going on here. There is definitely an ounce of that, you know, the front wheel's not quite being able to cope with the power, but considering it's on 225 tyres and we're pushing 535 horsepower through it, it's actually doing quite well. Yeah, these lower speed sections, it does really well on these, if it's prepared right for them. I'm sort of getting more used to it now, learning how to deal with the slightly random nature of it. Yeah, you can see through there, it sort of does want to pull a little bit. And sort of when it's going on uphill sections, the differential seems to get a little bit confused. It is sort of wanting to push all the power onto one tyre, which isn't the best, but, you know, sort of thing that happens when you put this amount of power into a front-wheel drive car. As far as its speed over here on the Glasgow Smile, it's not quite up there. Unfortunately, it's, you know, I think the Imp was doing 146 down there, and this is doing 135 just there, and that was late on the brakes as well, so, yeah, not quite the quickest car through there. Again, I think, strangely enough, even though you probably wouldn't expect this from a front-wheel drive car, I think this car is more making its time up through the tighter sections. Which again, I wasn't considering, again, 535 horsepower should in theory drag this car around to high hell. It's actually doing pretty darn alright. The problem with this course, of course, is while sure there is quite a lot of tight technical sections, there's also a lot of wide open areas where straight line speed matters, and this car just doesn't quite have the straight line speed. 153.852. I was trying to look at the leaderboard if that was quicker than the Imp so much that I kind of cocked this lap up slightly. Or at least the first half of it. Not quite. We're almost there though. Hit that weird kink in the road there. I think I need a name for the kink, to be honest with you, more than anything. If anyone can think of a good name for the kink. Ooh, God. Maybe I should just call this section the West Virginia. After, of course, the most amazing game in the world, Fallout 76. Right, try not to smash it into some of those. Back off the power a little bit here. Still trying to get used to braking into this section. It is kind of difficult to do, admittedly. The actual, I mean, again, the funny thing with this is the actual speed in terms of a normal S1 car is actually pretty darn good. But of course, this is Silly Car Showdown. where every car's got to be as silly as possible, so, you know, such is the way it goes. Ooh, a little bit of a slido through there. Oh, ooh, I'm going to try and slow down for this hill section. There we go, get in for the switchback. A little bit of handbrake. I will say, I was playing with this car around quickly as the lobby was starting for this race. I will say this thing does hilarious J-turns. It can ooh, God, did not want to do that. Yeah, it does hilarious J-turns, I'll give it that. Also, the brakes are pretty darn nice on this. I mean, I kind of expect that from the fact that it does, you know, weigh 2,400 pounds. And it's a Honda, and usually they are pretty good with brakes, so. We rush down to the line, a 1:53.010. It is quicker than the Imp. The question is, can we get it any quicker than that? The next car up is the Speed 12, a 1:51.482. I don't envision this beating the Speed 12, but, you know, a lot of the cars on this leaderboard I didn't envision being quite as fast as they turned out to be, like the GT40. Also, the Unimog was actually better than I expected as well, so, yeah, although I don't think this is going to be a lap where it goes quicker. A few little wonky bits and bobs coming through here. Go up this mountain section, a little bit of a slide, a little bit of the differential, wanting to grab like a madman. 138 is all I can get down there, so yeah, we're about 12 miles an hour off of the fastest car down here, I think. I can't remember which car it was. I think it was the GT40, I want to say. It was either the GT40 or the Cayman. I think it was the GT40 because the GT40 was quicker in a straight line than the Cayman, if memory serves me correctly. It's been it's been about a week, I think, since I last recorded the last part. Or I think it was actually like the first or second day of the summer season, and now it's the last day of the summer season as you watch this, so. Anyways, as we come on down for our final lap, again, I don't envision this lap being quite as quick as the last couple, but we shall see. Oh Jesus, maybe it will be a 1:52.280. It is quite a bit quicker. Alright, final lap. Let's try and get everything together for the mighty RSX. It's doing really very well. Ooh, that weird sort of grabbing bit just there. And those West Virginia bumps really not fun in any car. Especially not when you're trying to get the fastest lap possible. Wrongly timed a shift there, which can be a little bit catastrophic in a car with no pounds-foot of torque, basically. Ooh, a little bit of wheel spin as we go up towards the hill. Clonk the wall. Try and get it round there. The snow's not helping either. When it sort of starts touching the snow, that front wheel does really start dragging elsewhere. I guess you should sort of expect it, but still. I think a bin might have unintentionally saved me from some understeer there. Come down this section. Try and get good through the switchblade. We're doing alright. It feels like a quicker time. The question is it going to be a quicker time? Maybe broke a little bit too early for this corner right here. Take out the lamppost. Up the hill. Don't miss that checkpoint. And coming down towards the line. A 1:51.413. From the RSX. I can't believe what I'm about to say. The RSX has beaten the Speed 12. I think this is the first time in history an Acura RSX has ever beaten a Speed 12 for anything, but there you go. It has done that. So, The Acura RSX will go into... Let me just quickly put the thing down. 3rd place. It goes just barely quicker than the Speed 12, literally a tenth of a second. In it, it is 2 and a bit seconds, or it is just under 2 seconds up on the Imp. It is 16 seconds up on the Mog. You know, still about 3 seconds or so off of the Cayman GTS and 5 off of the GT40, but yeah, the RSX did a hell of a job. Also, I'll show you these crazy cool J-turns it can do. It is a pretty cool car. But yeah, really impressive from the RSX. I was honestly expecting it to struggle to beat the Imp, but it just shows you, sometimes you can never judge a book by its cover. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching. As always, if you want to request cars for Silly Car Showdown, there are a couple of ways you can do it. One, you can comment, either on this channel, my channel I should say, or over on HG Central, whichever one you are watching this on. You can also use my Discord server. My public Discord server has a requests page, and you can submit them in there. That's probably the easiest place for me to do it, just because it keeps everything compiled in one place. If you are indeed watching this over on HG Central and would like to come over and check my channel out, you can do so in the description, and if you do that, these videos are posted a day or so earlier over on my channel. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.